Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who has gone through an ego death or a dark night of the soul, and there's an awakening that has changed their behavior. Now, this could be talking about you, or this could be talking about somebody else. Take the energy how it resonates, but because of this person's ascension, because they have a change in perspective, a conversation or, catching up with someone from your past goes in a different way than expected. I think for the better, but we'll see. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box for you, as is more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. If you all are in the stars or the towers tiers, because there's 3 of them, then we do have a members only live stream tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central, so I hope to see you there. If you are currently in the chariots, you can upgrade before then and join. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Marcel. How's it going? Generally, yes, that would be like where I mark the threshold for doing personal questions at the end. I have been a little bit, I guess, flexible with that because I do really enjoy taking those personal questions. But let's start off with the Tattoo Tarot. What else do we have? Queen of Swords, Emperor and the Reverse, and the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a new beginning or like a fresh chapter. And I feel like this is about boundaries. I feel like this is either a conversation about something that you know you're done with, you're not going to like mess around and learn the same lesson over again. It's like, no, I would really rather be looking forward to new things, new experiences, new connections. So this could be about really feeling like you're done or you've cut the cord with somebody from your past. Does not have to be romantic, but for many of you it would be. Hello, PJ. How are you doing? Bring on the new. Page of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, this feels to me like a communication from somebody who has been able to kind of get you stuck, or maybe even you felt obsessed with this person in the past. But you know that whatever they're offering or whatever they're saying when they reach out to you is BS, because this cup in front of their face, it's just a blank space, right? So it's a lot of words, but I don't think I trust what they are saying. So someone is unable to convince you that you should come back around or that you should even respond. Hello, music. How's it going? Death in the Reverse. Star in the Reverse and the Sun. You figured this person out. They feel like it's never ending. They feel like you'll always choose them, or you'll always want something to potentially happen with them. They don't expect you to be actually over it or moving forward the way that you are. So with the Star in the Reverse, I do feel like a big part of the reason that they're not able to see things or read the situation the way it really is right now is they have a lack of healing, and they assume that you have not been pursuing some introspective time to help you understand the connection better. But the Sun indicates that one of you has ascended and the other one has not. That's why I think it feels more natural, or there's more acceptance here for you on moving on from this person, because if it's just going to be the same old, you can just think back on what's already happened. You don't have to relive that. King of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords in the Reverse. So whatever they come back around to offer you, you either don't even look at the message, you're not interested, Maybe you're talking to a friend about how you've been able to just ignore or move on, even though this person from your past reached out. So I'm going to refer to you as the Queen of Swords. Keep in mind that does not mean that you have to be a woman, because the Queen of Swords is talking about boundaries. It's talking about like the perceptiveness that you've gained to be able to see what this person's trying to accomplish. And the person you are dealing with is this Knight of Cups, the person who has an offer, but it's really not an offer. It's just kind of like words. All right, so this is the Golden Lenormand. What else do we have? Hello, Nicholas. How are you doing? Hey, Bedlam. It is a little early, isn't it? So we have the Home, number 4. And the Anchor. I think this is someone who's saying they want to visit you or they want to live with you, especially if you've already lived with this person in the past. If that is true, they might be telling you, you know, some sort of fond memory from when you were spending time together before in an attempt to try to get you to like get all the warm fuzzies, right? Hello, this guy. Hello, Zags. Hello, Anthony. Yeah, I think they look at you as someone who has their ish together, someone who is able to figure out what you need to do. For whatever reason, though, they feel like that doesn't apply to themselves. Like, you're smart, you know how to get through things, but I feel like I can always get you back. And I think they're finding out that's not true. Hey, Sylvie, how you doing? Okay, this is fun. I have not done this on a vertical live before, I don't think. So we've got the Clover and the Whip. Now, I know Bedlam knows what this means. It's been a while since there's, I think, 3 of them. I think 3, yeah. There's 3 Whip cards that I have. They're Lenormand cards, and they talk about punishment. They can talk about other things as well, but in particular, this person is feeling like your ascension or your ability to more easily tap into your intuition and more easily walk away from that which does not serve you or is holding you back. They view that as a punishment for themselves, but it's your good fortune, right? So here's the thing. Some of you may be kind of new, but whenever the Whip card comes out, I have a little joke that I have to tell you. So if it's your first time, enjoy. The Whip. No, not the Whip. The Whip. No, please, not the Whip. The Whip. No, please, anything but the Whip. Anything? The Whip. You guys, I really feel like it's been like a month or something since I've told that joke. But honestly, there's probably like 100 times where I've told that joke on my channel, so have fun. Hello, Mavis. Hello, Tyler. Hello, Slap. What's up? I'm gonna leave that comment because it's probably about the joke. But yeah. Hey, Matt. How's it going? Yeah, it has been like about a month, right? Anyways. Yeah. They're feeling punished by the fact that you have improved your situation. They're feeling like something has been taken from them, or they're about to, right? This could be happening after you don't respond or after you respond in the negative. Depends on when you're actually seeing this message, but yeah, they feel like you should be eager for their return. They feel like you are generally pretty trusting, maybe even to a fault, right? We've got the Divine Masculine energy and Pain. So the lesson that you've learned is that if you are loyal to this person instead of standing up and walking away from the connection, that it pretty much inevitably results in heartache. It pretty much always leads to someone feeling like, probably you, like, I wish I hadn't done that. So instead of, having that more loving, trusting energy, that loyal energy, you're realizing maybe it's better to be loyal to yourself. Maybe it's better to not trust somebody who has already shown you exactly who they are, right? Hello, Passmore. Hello, Igors. Hello, Bill. I don't know what to say to that one. Hello, Ria. How you doing today? Hey, Kylie. What? I think that might be a typo. Hello, Lilac. How are you doing? Aw, you think so? That's okay. I mean, you do have an interesting username. So I'm going to let your comment stay, but if you're going to be disrespectful, just know that I do like to put people in a timeout. So, yeah, just be nice. We have conflicted and peace. Decisions, hot and cold, multiple choices. And underneath peace, it says balance, harmony, and friendship. So you feel like basically the choice here is, do I want to go back around and deal with somebody who is probably going to lie or maybe even ghost me, not be able to handle those conversations that are really important to whatever the connection is, whether you're a friend or a family member or you date this person. It's important to be able to trust them, right? It's the inner circle. And you're realizing you've worked pretty dang hard to have some harmony or more of like a peaceful energy in your life, and they would ruin that. I hope you do too. That's all right, Kylie. I don't know what you were trying to say though, so let me know. I think you're talking about the reading. I mean, that's the thing. People get a little bit unreasonable sometimes with what they expect, especially someone who comes through as the Knight of Cups. Now, Knight of Cups often has some very beautiful energy, but Knights, as a rule, with the K, right, are immature energy, or it's like a burst of energy. So people can be, if they're coming through as the Knight of Cups, really ambitious and really like go for what they want initially, but the follow through tends to be lacking. That gets better with time, Dave. That's why we have discernment, right? Hello, Tommy. How are you doing? I'm glad to hear that, Lilac. This is a general reading, although if I reach $15 in tips, I do like to do personal questions at the end of the general reading with priority to those who tip. Hello, Fida. How you doing? Nah, I know you meant well. It was just kind of funny. And it's early, so the brain, it's just like starting to work. Mistakes. This person has made mistakes. Have they owned those mistakes would be my question. Because I feel like they would rather lean into the, oh, people don't understand me, people don't, appreciate me, and look to the circumstances or their surroundings to find fault instead of looking at their own behavior, right? Hold on, I think we need just a little bit more candlelight. There we go. All right. You too, yes, what about it? Anthony says, tell me how to stop the cycle. You have to find a way to master self-control. And the best way to do that is to find something that keeps you busy. So there are a lot of different art forms that I really enjoy. Lately, I've been kind of obsessed with drawing houseplans. There's no T in that. Some people think I'm drawing ferns, but I'm talking about like architectural plans, right? When you have something that you enjoy doing that busies the mind, that's the best thing to do. You can, I think most people try to replace a person and, you know, find a connection elsewhere. Maybe that works for a little while, but it doesn't build the kind of foundation that you need to be able to consistently heal from things that happen. If you know how to focus your energy inward or focus on the things that matter to you, maybe it's gardening, maybe it's fitness, maybe it's woodworking. When you have those kind of passions in your life, it's a lot easier to move on from one that is a bit lacking, right? Oh, we have another Carmen in the house. What's up? I hope you're having a good day. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that. Thank you for liking the video. And if you have one of those cool little features where you can hype a video, I would appreciate that as well. Hey, Dana, how's it going? Hello, John. Hey, Jim, you can call me Carmen. So yeah, here's your intuition saying, you know what, maybe I deserve better than this. Maybe what I should do is stop going back and expecting a different experience, because what I deserve is somebody who is kind-hearted. And I've been kind of confused by this person who pretends to be very kind or sweet towards me, but inevitably that changes and then they end up mistreating me. If you know that pattern already, there's no need to like prove it again. Oh, yep, they still are awful. They still don't know how to love. Okay, validated that one. You know, you don't have to do that. And if that's how you look at it, Jim, that's just me, you know, setting the expectations. This is the Egyptian Tarot. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, 6 of Swords in the reverse, and the 9 of Pentacles. I think this person runs when they get scared, runs when there's accountability facing them, runs when they feel like they're not good enough. So they might have this tendency to be overly independent because they are afraid of rejection. And they probably have gone through a decent amount of that. Thank you, Kylie. So we've got someone who basically struggles with that long-term element, right? How do I make things work over a long period of time when I always feel like I have to at some point like kind of hide who I am or how I feel about myself? Hey, Lightning, how's it going? Yeah, you deserve better than that, Lilac. 6 of Pentacles. We have a lot of earth energy in this reading, so it could be heavy on the Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Now, sometimes that means that you or your person have that as your sun sign. Sometimes it means it's heavily featured in your chart. Sometimes it just means that if earth in particular, you're looking for that more grounded energy. You don't want promises. You don't want the like, I don't know, read me a poem or play me some music on your guitar and I'll fall in love under the stars. You don't want that. You want like concrete, like, tell me what you're gonna do. Like, how are you, I don't know, are you moving? Are you getting a different job? Like, I need something concrete, not just dreams. So that's what I feel the Queen of Swords is primarily feeling at this point. And the Knight of Cups is finding that their empty promises are not going to be taken very seriously at all. So with the Fool being in the reverse, Page of Cups in the reverse, 5 of Swords in the reverse, this person's medium or mediocre offer is soundly rejected. You walk away from it. You're like, that's not good enough. Like, tell me something real instead of just like, I don't know, compliments or what you want to do in 5 years, you know? Haley, how you doing? Hello, Carrie. How are you? Oh, Lord. 8 of Cups in the reverse, Knight of Pentacles, and the 4 of Swords. Yeah. They didn't expect you to change because there's been more than one encounter. In other words, maybe you were in a relationship and it was, you know, just the one relationship, but if you got into arguments, this would be the pattern, right? You said you were going to do something or you said you were going to change and then you didn't. Because with the Knight of Pentacles, there's this like, I've been waiting for so long. And I ended up waiting so long that I lost interest in you, that I ended up healing from the situation, you know? Sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes people take too long, you figure them out, and you're like, what am I doing here? This is the Voyage of the Soul. Lightning. Yes, I would agree with you, Bedlam. So we have limitless and words. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, normally I really like the limitless card, but I see it in 2 different ways. Number one, you have this ability, you have open-mindedness at this point where you're seeing a lot of different paths that your life could take. It doesn't have to end up with this person anymore, and maybe for a long time you felt like it should. But I'm also seeing that you are taking more notice of what's being said, maybe even remembering what has been said in the past and acknowledging that this person makes all of these grandiose promises or says things that they never follow through on. So you're taking back that trust that you gave this person and essentially expecting them to lie to you. Like, I'm not going to believe what you said because you've already gone back on your promise before, because you've already said you would do that and then you didn't, right? Hello, Mumtaz. Hello, Diable. How are you doing? Oh, I'm glad to hear that, Tommy. Just so you know, there is a link in my description box for my second channel. I've kind of like not contributed to it in a long time, in part because I'm not going to monetize it. I think I like that it doesn't have ads on it, but it's just me reading from books if you're interested in that kind of thing. Hello, Gerlene. How you doing? So we have the leadership card and magic. Teacher, guide, entrepreneur, sharing wisdom, and global. I think you realize that there is a lot out there for you. A lot of people who may also have walked a similar path to you or have had to let go of things that were limiting or blocking them. And you want to not only be able to inspire other people, but you want to be able to draw that inspiration wherever you can find it. This is what makes you magical. This is what helps you to advance. This is what, I'm going to say it too, I think this is part of what people love about you or what draws people to you, is you have this ability to take that leap of faith into something that you're not familiar with. So you might be a little bit more comfortable than most people with a first day on a new job, just kind of like dive in kind of attitude. And this is enabling you to walk away from this person. You're like, no, I think I'm totally ready for a different cycle. I think I'm ready for someone who has a better like ability to listen to their intuition and has a little bit more maturity, can actually rely on what they say, right? Good morning, James. How are you doing? Thank you, Tommy. You too, Girlene. Hello, Tom. How's it going? I've got energy, life force, chakras, Reiki, intangible, subtle, and crystals, and purity, innocence, light, humble, virtuous, moral, and genuine. The more you've like gone within or had the opportunity to be introspective, the more you've realized fully what it is that draws people to you. And I'm not saying that you're some, Puritan. I'm not saying that you've never broken any laws or broken any hearts. But what I am saying is I think you're starting to appreciate more fully that you are a genuine individual, and that is not easy to find. This is something that makes you very likely to be like the one that got away for maybe even a couple of different people. The energy that you possess, the magic that you have, this draws people back around to you. And I think you realize that that doesn't mean you have to be like giving chances to everybody who's interested in you. You have to be more selective. And I think that's where you're headed, if you haven't already started that. All right, and then I just started hearing my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, which does not have to be directly about you. More so it's saying if you have a decent number of people who are interested in you, then why would you want to prioritize somebody who's going to break promises and not pursue being their like best selves, right? You are actually trying to, find your purpose if you haven't already. You are trying to connect with people in a real way, so therefore you deserve to be around other people who are genuine, right? Okay. If you're just on here trying to like promote some other channel, I'm probably gonna block you, just so you know. Hello, Dirty. How are you doing? I like it. Yes, that's true. This is the Noisy Tarot, by the way. That's not its real name. That's what I call it. I do have a video on my channel. What is it called? I think it's called Take a Tour of Carmen's Tarot Decks. I might have included the word Oracle in there as well, because I have like over 60. But in there, I tell you how to actually find it. I think it's called like Classic Tarot or something on Amazon. Yeah. White Girl Magic, if you would like to come back around tomorrow and be more like on subject, that's cool. Oh, we have a fake fight starting now? Oh no. Bedlam, it's not a video, it's a post. So if you're looking at my channel's page, there should be a different category for just like when I post pictures, like the Great Smoky Mountains picture. If you scroll down there, then you'd be able to find it. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles following the Two of Cups and the Emperor. Yeah, I think you're realizing that the only time you want to offer your cup of love, if you will, right, like this Two of Cups, the only time you want to do that is when your intuition confirms that you're dealing with somebody who's a boss, somebody who's genuine. Now, this is interesting because it's basically coming through as you have this Emperor energy. You acknowledge that someone from your past does not have this Emperor energy. And that Emperor energy is one that has self-control and the ability to communicate in a very honest way. So you're holding out until your intuition confirms that you see energy like yours. Not that you're trying to date yourself, but that you don't want to accept less than what you offer when it comes to communication, respect, and being that genuine, authentic person, right? That's not what my gift is for, Mr. X. I did too, Matt. For sure. And then they had the TV show. It wasn't as good, but the game was pretty good. Knight of Wands in the reverse. The Hanged Man in the reverse and the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Ooh, okay. Look, sometimes we have to accept that you may end up being the villain in someone else's story. Because when you're dealing with somebody who likes to say that they are misunderstood and probably plays the victim, they're going to find a way to blame you. That's just like how they operate. So this is just a heads up. They're going to try to make you feel like you are unreasonable, try to make you feel like you are... I mean, I hate that I can't just use the words that I want to use because YouTube has feelings or whatever. But they want to make you feel like you're the bee, right? That you're the problem. I can't believe you would do this. I can't believe you would break my heart. I can't believe you don't believe in me. Let it all just roll right off, okay? Because guess what? That's just their hurt lashing out at you for recognizing that they haven't changed. They want to be able to cause more damage to you. Whether they would say that outright or not, probably not. But they're going to make you feel guilty, or they're going to try. Don't let them. That's part of that self-control element, right? Think about grudges and not forgiving people as giving energy to other people because you're thinking about them instead of focusing on things that you need to in your life, right? When you have the ability to take back your energy, when you have the ability to let go, when, you know, the bridge has been burned, then you operate with all of your energy or as much of your energy as you can instead of giving it to that person. When I see people out here like actively hating someone every day, it looks exhausting to me. Like, how do you do it? I don't have the energy for that. There's too many other things that are important to me than hating someone. Like, okay, if I think that they suck as a person, then they're still going to be sucking over there somewhere, and that's enough punishment, right? Like, I don't know. That's like trying to trip somebody who's already actively falling. Like, they're going to do it on their own. They don't need you to be wasting your energy. Or they're going to figure it out and they're going to learn from their mistakes, but it's not on you to have to wait around for that, right? We have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, you're closing out a cycle. You're ready for that more stable and grounded energy. So if somebody's coming back around, the only way they gain access to you is if they can demonstrate that they have this King of Pentacles energy. Very similar to that Emperor energy, right? Again, we're not looking for gender here. This is talking about your ability to be, I mean, you could look at it as paying bills on time, following through on your promises. That's reliable, like introduced to your parents type of energy, right? But with the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse, you know that somebody is coming back around and their offer is not really that great. So to you, it's like, I don't know. I think I'll pass. I think I'll wait for that new energy, right? Good morning. I worry every time. I think I say your name different like every other day. Did you tell me it was Aleda or Elida? I remember you said like which one, but sorry. Emperor energy, yes. It's about being able to like actually take charge of things, right? And with the Hermit in the reverse, you know this person hasn't done that. You know they're still about the same BS. The High Priestess in the reverse. And the Chariot. That's you moving on. I would tell you to pack your suitcase, but you've already done that. Like, you're already over it. Like, I know exactly what would happen if I got involved with you again. And I really just don't have the time for that, okay? I already have memories of you breaking promises. I'm good, thanks. Toodaloo. This is the Earth and Bone Oracle. Aleda. Okay. Lay. Thank you. Yeah, it really is. Hello, is it Agalish? I hope I said it right. I hope you're having a good day. So we have Enchanter and Trinity. Number 22 and number 3. Self-evaluation, awakening. Remember we had Ascension at the beginning. Purpose, independence, 9 of Pentacles, and confidence. Look, the happiest people tend to be the ones who know themselves the best. Maybe that's too basic of a sentence, but I would fight for that one. When you know yourself, you know what you need to work on. You know what you allow or accept into your life. You know how to accept when there's something that you messed up and maybe you need to apologize to someone. But you also know what path is right for you. That self-awareness is so key because it's enabling you to have that self-control and walk away from somebody because you've already learned from that, right? You have different priorities. Trinity is balancing decisions, priorities, and adapting to change. They didn't feel like you would adapt. They felt like you would keep going for it, you know, keep allowing them to come back into your life. Hello, Lady Lion. Hello, Divyanshi. How are you doing? And we've got Nest, number 41. Charity, generosity, sharing, and support. You know you want this kind of energy from the person that you dedicate your time to or the person that you invite into your inner circle. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic. But if this Knight of Cups makes promises and then doesn't show up, then how can you actually rely on them for any support? How can you actually trust them? You know what you're looking for and they ain't it. That's just like how it is. All right, this is the Gilded Reverie. Sorry, Dave. Sometimes I get into the reading. I can't be reading all of them, you know? Wow, so we have the mice. Number 23. This talks about loss. And I felt like putting it on the Knight of Cups. So this is the person from your past realizing that they've lost you. Realizing there's nothing they can do to change your mind. Realizing that you've seen through their little promises or their little act, right? Hey, Kane, I'm going to remove your messages and put you in a little block or like a little timeout because you're repeating messages. If you want to come back around and not do that, then you are welcome to. Hello, Jack. How are you doing? Thank you. I hope you're having a good day. No one disagrees with you, Carson, or at least you'll find people who respects your right to believe that. I also ask of you to be respectful of others' beliefs. Hey, Redbeard, how are you doing? Hello, Brooke. Just trying to get people to accept that new chapter. We're moving away from people who like to break promises and instead choosing to have an inner circle with people who are genuine like you. So that's why we have the bear. This is someone realizing you have that self-control, realizing that you are more courageous or stronger than they gave you credit for, that you're actually able to walk away from this connection. Aw, that's sweet. What else do we have? Oh. All right, that's interesting. So I have to be cautious because YouTube doesn't like it when I post cards that have a little bit of nudity on them. So if you're wondering why I cover up the card. So we have this dog card, which talks about loyalty. And then we have this woman without a shirt. This is someone who expected you to offer them loyalty when they did not offer it back to you. So with the card number 29, woman without a shirt, we have in this deck 2 number 29s. There's also a woman with a shirt, which is why I call them what I call them, right? This is somebody who did not have intentions for longevity or long-term relationships or being respectful, right? This is somebody who wanted what they wanted whenever they came around, and they expected you to just be like waiting for them, right? Maybe not. Because now you see what they've been trying to hide. You see that they just like to play games and you're not interested in those games. You don't play that anymore, right? Hey, thank you. I'm removing your comment because I don't know what it says. If you are able to translate it into English, that would be super helpful. Hello, Capo. How are you doing? Hello, Force. Oh, and now we have the man with a shirt. Okay, this is good. This is good. So in other words, you're like, I could choose somebody who's fake and doesn't know how to communicate in a mature way or doesn't know how to take responsibility for their actions. Or, wait for it. Or I could go for somebody who has a shirt on, which is to indicate somebody who's legit, somebody who's genuine, somebody who is able to do that long-term connection thing, right? Because just like with the woman card, we have the man card with a shirt and without a shirt. So this is saying you are offering your genuine loving self and someone else is just kind of like, here's some passion. Is that good enough for you? And you're like, no, what I want is somebody who's reliable. What I want is somebody who can have the difficult talks without resorting to name calling or the silent treatment, right? Oh no, calling yourself out? Hey, I'm proud of you. Hey, Rastaman. That's an interesting username for somebody who is being judgmental about religion. I'm going to put you in a baby timeout, and I'm also going to quote you my favorite biblical verse from the RSV version. Apparently, it's different in other versions, which is Psalm 50, verse 9. I will accept no bull from your house. You are welcome to come back and be in the live chat if you would like to be loving as your God tells you to be. Otherwise, we're going to go on about our business, okay? I mean, Dave, I can't say that I'm reliably mature all the time. I mean, I make some pretty questionable jokes on here. Oh, look, that's great. So we have the Dark Night of the Soul. That is the Ascension. You have moved beyond this. You're not interested in moving backwards because you see that you could have a really beautiful connection or that you could have a great little social community around you if you have standards, right? All right. This is What's the News. Music says, tell me more verses. Matthew, I've got one written down that I like. Another one. Matthew 25:40 is, truly I say to you, to the extent that you did it to one of the least of these brothers or sisters of mine, you did it to me. Thank you, Lady Lion. I think we can be civil and kind when we defend ourselves, right? Hey, Jack. This is a general reading. I do often take personal questions at the end from those who tip, and I also like to do freebies every now and then. However, I am getting hungry, so I'm probably going to wrap up this reading soon. If you want a long form personal reading, my email address is in the description box, and I can tell you more about that via email. Yeah, exactly, Bedlam. So we've got someone here who may have been hoping to trap you with a baby. No offense to those who have children, right? But this is somebody who is maybe hoping that if they had started a family with you, you wouldn't be able to walk away. Whether you are male or female, that was something that they had been considering. This could also be about your tendency to be mothering to people. At the bottom it says mothering. Is that loyalty energy, right? I'm here to help. I'm here when you need me. Like, what can I do? They wanted you to mother them. So take it how it resonates. But that's not your responsibility, is it? Hello, Alphonse. How you doing? No, you deserve better than that, magical. Hello, Koala. Is it Marla or Maria? Maria? Oh, I'm sending you abundant energy. I hope you get a change in that. I'm going to make an exception and read on that real quick. Hello, Dana. Let me write that down too. Connection, improve. I sure hope so, Dana. Thank you for the tip. Okay, so for Maria, I think you were asking, should I get a lawyer? Should Maria get a lawyer? I feel like there's another resource. You maybe don't necessarily need a lawyer. I would look into it, but I would see what other resources are available as well. There could be a group effort here. Will there be a new job in Maria's future, in the near future? Yes. I do see you being a little bit torn between two choices. Please be cautious because as you're looking for the next path, I do feel like there's something where the offer looks better than it really is. So you're going to want to make sure you do some digging of your own, maybe even talk to some current employees and see how things are. But I do see you having a good option and a not so great option. So with Temperance in the reverse, I feel like you'd be able to figure it out as long as you're using that observational habit, skill. Oh no, the lawnmower man has shown up. Okay, I might have to cut this a little bit short. Let me do Dana's question real quick. Yeah, that's true. Hello, Em. How you doing? Oh, please don't repeat your questions like that. I'll be back later, but especially when you start moving to all caps, that's a little bit wild. Good luck to you, Koala. Yeah. All right. Will the connection with Bond improve for Dana? Right now, it feels like there's a lot of issues that need to be dealt with. So I don't see any improvement in the near future. And that in part has to do with a third party or someone who's blocking the connection. Is this someone who's hiding that they don't approve? No, they're pretty bold about not approving. And this is someone who is encouraging Bond to move on or not be with you. How does Bond feel? Ten of Swords in the reverse, Page of Cups in the reverse, Ace of Wands in the reverse. I feel like he's torn. He's upset. He feels like there's something that could be probably fixed. But with the Ace of Wands in the reverse, it's like, but I don't know how to do it. So I feel like it's I don't think he would necessarily say this, but I feel like it's like, I don't know how to fix this, so it's just easier for me to not do anything than to try to figure it out, you know? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm from Minneapolis, you know, so you gotta represent, right? Sorry. It's getting loud now. All right, I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.